Hello, I'm Neil Nunes with the BBC News. Britain's 20-year military mission in Afghanistan has ended with the departure from Kabul of the last evacuation flight carrying diplomats, officials and service personnel. Britain was one of the biggest contributors of troops to international operations in Afghanistan from the overthrow of the Taliban in 2001 to their return to power last week. Britain's Royal Air Force helped with the evacuations, as Caroline Hawley reports.
Altogether, more than 15,000 people have been brought out by the RAF, British nationals and Afghans who'd worked with the UK, along with their families. But hundreds have not been able to reach the airport, Afghans whose lives are now at grave risk. Over the past 20 years, more than 100,000 British troops served in Afghanistan. 457 British lives were lost. The mission began by ousting the Taliban from power. It ends with a rush to a timetable dictated by the militants. Britain's military personnel have done their job, but this is a bitter homecoming.
Washington says its mission will be completed by Tuesday's deadline. President Biden has warned that another attack on Kabul airport is highly likely over this weekend. In a statement, he again promised to hunt down anyone involved in the bombing on Thursday, in which 170 people were killed, including 13 U.S. military personnel. Here's Namia Iqbal.
Going off the briefing that President Biden gave, he put it down to US intelligence. He said that the intelligence has told them that ISIS-K could highly likely carry out an attack in the next 24 to 36 hours. Now, last week, there was a similar alert issued on the Wednesday that there was an imminent attack planned. And we saw next day those horrifying scenes at Kabul airport. So it is a threat that President Biden and the US is taking very seriously. He said he's advised the commanders on the ground to do what they can to protect people.
The governor of Louisiana has warned that Hurricane Ida may be one of the strongest storms to hit the U.S. state in over 150 years. John Bell Edwards said it was likely to be a Category 4 hurricane when it makes landfall on Sunday evening with potential wind speeds of more than 220 kilometers per hour.
Your window of time is rapidly closing. By the time you go to bed tonight, you need to be where you intend to ride the storm out, and you need to be as prepared as you can be, because weather will start to deteriorate very quickly. By 8 a.m., we expect tropical storm force winds to move into the inland across southern Louisiana.
This is the latest world news from the BBC. The Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro has said he sees three alternatives for his future: prison, death, or victory in next year's presidential election. Speaking to Christian leaders, the right-wing leader said there was no chance of prison because, as he put it, no man on earth will intimidate me. President Bolsonaro again publicly criticized Brazil's electoral court. Dozens of activists in Ecuador have marched through the capital Quito to demand officials speed up investigations into the disappearances of hundreds of people in the last year. Police prevented the demonstrators from reaching parliament. More than 230 people vanished in Ecuador between January and July this year. Police in Peru have carried out dawn raids on 7 offices belonging to the Free Peru Party of the President, Castillo. The buildings included the house of the party's Secretary General, Vladimir Cerrón Rojas. The Peruvian Prosecution Service says it's investigating allegations of money laundering by the Free Peru to finance the election campaign of Mr. Castillo. Argentina's foreign ministry has accused Chile of attempting to appropriate part of the continental shelf that lies at the furthest tip of South America. The statement was in response to a decree by Chile's president on Thursday. Here's Kat Wiener.
Sebastián Piñera's claim to a swathe of the ocean bed extending nearly 400 kilometres south from Cape Horn was made in Chile's official gazette. It would extend the country's exclusive rights to exploit minerals, natural resources and fishing in that part of the ocean. Argentina called the announcement unacceptable, saying it had sovereignty over part of the territory, with the remainder protected as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Jurisdiction over the sea around Tierra del Fuego, at the southernmost tip of the continent, has long been a source of conflict between the two countries.
BBC News.